start wars. I mean, historically, they'll make the wrong decisions to stay in power. So what do you expect them to do? I mean, look what they did in 2008. Make it worse, give themselves trillions.
I expect them to make the wrong decisions until they can't do it anymore. I mean, eventually, the market won't give them any more rope. We will have hung ourselves on the rope we already had. So at some point, we're going to do the right thing. But my portfolio, what I'm doing with my clients, I'm betting that they keep doing the wrong thing because there's no indication they're going to do the right thing. So what are they going to do? They're just going to print more money. They're going to take interest rates down. These clowns are probably even going to try negative interest rates, even though they're not working in Europe and they're not working in Japan. They're dumb enough to do it because when it comes to central bankers, if one of your friends jumps off a bridge, well, you jump off the same bridge because everybody is doing it, so it must be the right thing to do.
Lemmings, wow. And look, what you're doing with your bet is risky, but it's not. I mean, it's risky in that short term, it looks scary, but we know historically there's no way they can extend this forever, no matter how much voodoo they've got.
I don't even think it looks scary in the short run because it's already unfolding. Yeah, right. The dollar is already going down. Gold is already going up.
No, you're right. The Fed has said they're out of bullets. The Fed has admitted it isn't working.
Yeah, well, I mean, but the thing is, their bullets never worked. But they're not out. They have a machine gun. They can print as much money as they want. If they actually think money printing works, there's no limit to how much they can print.
But they admit it's not working, so how do they have the cake and eat it too? You've seen the statements. They go, no, this isn't working. We're out of bullets. So what does that mean?
No. They've never admitted that. They still believe their policies were a success. That's how clueless they are. They still believe that their policies...
I've seen a few statements where they've admitted it's not working. I mean, I've seen some statements, but no, I mean, you're right. Then they kind of, like, out of one side, they go, this isn't working, but then out of the bullhorn, they say it is.
No, they don't accept responsibility for their role in inflating the housing bubble. They don't accept their blame for the financial crisis. They still believe that all their policies were correct. And so the next time the economy turns down, they're going to do it all over again. See, they're still pretending we have a recovery.
All right, Peter, you've been dead on. Rates. Thank you so much, Europac.com. Have a great weekend. I'm going to try to start getting my family ready. I tell you, he's back there in the green room. Tim Kennedy coming here to talk about economic collapse, preparedness, why we're really joining forces to try to get people rallied and awake. Yes, folks, there he is with Joe Biggs back there salivating over Joe Biggs' new sniper rifle. I feel sorry for the social justice warriors. I think they're putting us in re-education camps. We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, we're facing a Red Dawn scenario, a sneak attack scenario, but not from Cuba right now. We're facing it from big globalist combines like Bilderberg and Davos and George Soros, who admit they're bringing in a planetary world government where they make the rules, they pick the winners and the losers. And where Homeland Security for 8 years under Obama, it had some problems before, but under Obama, gun owners, veterans, conservatives, libertarians are the #1 enemies as they bring in massive amounts. It's not in the tens of thousands, folks. They're covering up the number, just like they cover up the illegals. The Border Patrol tells us they complete the smuggling process. It's got to be in the hundreds of thousands of refugees here, 5 million in Europe. They're just ignoring all the laws. They let people in that have TB. Our government is acting like it's actually out to get us because it's not our government, in my view. And we have seen the last 4 years, you heard it here first with our guest, Cy Hirsch and Colonel Schaefer and many others, that our own military said we're not going to back al-Qaeda in Syria. They started giving the intel to the Russians. Now, you knew that 4 years ago here. That was declassified in the last 6 months. That was released in the press in the last 6 months. So the good news is there's still America left that's following the Constitution and the Bill of Rights to a certain extent, and you've got criminal alien globalist groups from outside this nation that are absolutely preparing to bring down this nation and the rest of the world in a financial, economic collapse, warfare, you name it. All the ingredients are there. So Tim Kennedy, who is known as a UFC fighter, I mean, I know better because I follow what's going on in the country, that he's one of the most experienced special forces soldiers ever, many tours around the world, some of the most classified elite units, which qualify him to talk about COG destabilization programs because they study them on both sides. And when he came in a few weeks ago and said they're planning destabilization and collapse, that doesn't mean they're going to totally implement it, but it means it's being looked at, and it's not just on the drawing board, it's being moved forward right now. And he can correct me if I'm wrong, but from all my information and just studying this in our context, this is like a 9 on a Richter scale. Previous stuff was a 2 or a 3. This is all the alarm bells are going off, all the political sensors are going off, the elites are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, they're weaponizing the media now more than ever, they're pulling out all the stops in my view. And so I mean, I'll just tell the story and then give him the floor. It's hard to shut me up. But he was already here today doing some work with us, so I said, please come in. That Shane Steiner, I've known him since high school. These guys have been training together for a few years. Got to know him. We talked about preparedness. He talked about how I should go out and, do some training and just get prepared for what's unfolding. And then the more and more we talked, we just said, well, why not actually produce some internet tutorials that are also exciting and entertaining so folks watch them on how to get ready and how to get prepared and how to promote a true patriot or dangerous freedom are your terms, culture that is the antithesis of this jellyfish, coward culture, emasculated male, disempowered female. So just a pro-human force multiplication that you're so well trained in that I've organically developed to reach out and empower the American people to resist by becoming healthy and involved and being leaders, and that will automatically counterbalance the attempts they've engaged in to make us all domesticated. And so we're launching this True Patriot initiative that you'll see roll out in the next few weeks and next few months on top of your incredible schedule and mine, and UFC and special things you're doing on the side and hunting Hitler. I mean, you're a guy that works 18 hours a day. It's going to be around somebody who has more energy than I do. Tim Kennedy, it's great to have you here with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you got the floor. Tell us about True Patriot and where we stand and where this country's going, because as things get so bad and as the situation gets bad, you're going to see more and more alliances and more patriots coming together with the courage you've got to be associated with InfoWars, my friend.
Yeah, it's scary sometimes, but it's exciting. True Patriot is it's this idea that we're going to empower people to, for the first time, grab onto what it means to be a patriot. Like the loose assumption that we can just live our life in liberty, that we can grab our freedom and do whatever we want, it can never be realized. Unless you train, unless you prepare, unless you understand what individual responsibility looks like. So a True Patriot, if you go to Infowars.com/True Patriot, we are rolling out not only tutorials, not only impassioned truth-telling videos, but we're giving you the skills to be just that, an individual that can live its life in liberty and freedom. We're showing you how to shoot. We're showing you how to grow your own food. We're showing you how to exercise every single one of those beautiful amendments that were written by our founding fathers. They were brilliant, they were geniuses, but they knew what was coming, and they knew what they had just fought in 1776, and they never wanted to see that again. So they wrote these things and said, you have to be able to, just like a muscle, exercise these frequently, because if you don't, they die. And that's what True Patriot is. We are passionate in this idea of freedom and liberty. I have been to countries that believe in socialism, that try to enact communism. They don't work, right? The one thing that we know works is freedom. And I've fought for it, I've killed for it, I've bled for it, now I sweat for it, now I teach it. And you have to buy onto this idea and believe it and train it every single day. And that takes hard work. And that's what True Patriot is.
Well, there's the saying, you talk the talk, you walk the walk. And it's absolutely true. We have to physically go out and plant gardens. We have to physically spend time with our children. We have to physically turn the TV off. We have to physically go for a jog. We have to physically stop eating GMO. If we do all those physical things, then the mind awakens and turns on. Then we'll go to city council. Then we'll run for office. Yeah. But we have to physically get out of the malaise that so many patriots are in physically, myself included, a long journey from just totally only being cerebral and gaining like 80 pounds and getting totally out of shape. I used to be in great shape. It's been a slow journey, but I've gotten back in probably 90% back to where I was. And again, then I'm that much better at fighting the globalists. And, as you guys have done in the Green Berets and the Special Forces, going behind enemy lines in occupied tyrannical nations, organizing the people to resist tyranny. The motto, to paraphrase it, is what? Free the oppressed, defend the oppressed.
It's the oppressed will obey. Yeah, it's to freers of the oppressed.
And so getting back to that, yeah, our government may be run by criminals, and we may be going into a world government, but America's still alive. All of us are seeds, and Tim Kennedy's a big seed. I'm a seed. You're a big seed to grow the mighty oak, and to have somebody like Tim Kennedy here, activating in America in the real battle for the Republic is a true leadership model to everybody else in the military and out of the military. Because, obviously in the Pentagon, you're one of their top, promoters, patriots, one of their big names out there. Here you are on your own with InfoWars, knowing what you're doing because the country's in so much trouble, folks. And you're going to see more of this. People are in the government who are good. Most of them are good. And corporations are good. They have just been compartmentalized. They've been taught they don't have any power. But Tim's motivated. Yeah, he's a super soldier. He won't tell you that himself, but he's the best there is. I've been told by the other folks in the military, and he's here to defend the Republic. But I want to ask you a question. What are you doing now? Because listen, I don't do this because I'm some hero. I do this because of instinctively. I can't be run over and be a slave without standing up. I'm just a regular guy 20-something years ago, got involved, and see where we are. Imagine when Tim gets involved and you get involved. We're looking to win this thing, not just be, overrun and defeated or, hide out in the woods. We're going to go out and take this country back.
Hey, you hit the nail on the head when you said it takes work. It is so easy to control a populace that is weak and that's pathetic, that they have no skills to do anything. They have to rely on somebody else. You have to have somebody give you a phone because you can't earn enough money to go get one for yourself. You don't even know how to grow food. You don't know how to change your oil. You are literally living your life as a slave. So individual responsibility, it's the idea of dangerous freedom. I would prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. Slavery is, no, it's not in chains. I'm out picking cotton. That's not what I'm saying. When you give every single bit of who you are and the strength of you person to somebody else and make them provide what you need, your substance.
Let's show Trigglypuff. I know you almost cry. So we laugh because we're uncomfortable. We're not pleased the social justice warriors that can't talk and just scream racist. We're not pleased to see Trigglypuff that's like 4'9" and weighs 300 pounds and sucking a bottle, screaming ban free speech. We are threatened by the masses of dangerous lemmings like them that'll run us and our families over a totalitarian cliff. And we're here to, as Paul reveres, to say now is the time to reactivate and take action.
Yeah, my safe zone, it's about 2,000 meters because that's how far I can shoot. I train that. I work that. And all the way from 2,000 back to 5 meters, every single different range setting, I'm pretty efficient with a gun. So my safe zone, it's not you saying a word that I'm uncomfortable with. It's me training and knowing that I'm proficient to provide for my family and make sure that they're safe. And that's my safe zone.
Well, think about this. They have university studies, you can pull them up. 7 million people died of starvation or in association with starvation from malnutrition in the Great Depression. We were 90% rural. Half the folks, roughly, were totally self-sufficient, the others partially. We are now 89% urban, and of the 11% that are rural, less than half are self-sufficient. 5% of the country is self-sufficient. I'm not self-sufficient compared to my dad, who grew up on a farm, and he's a doctor. But my dad can fix anything. I am an idiot compared to my dad. He is nothing compared to his dad. We are becoming jellyfish.
Yeah, but it's never too late. That's why I'm saying, just right now, what are you doing? Where are you doing your research? What are you doing with your day? What time are you getting up? What time are you going to bed? We were built to go to bed tired. You're not supposed to sit in your chair.
You have more energy when you bust your ass. I got a study right here. Go ahead.
It's like the doors are opened, right? You're living, you got the blue pill, you got the red pill. One is you're gonna live in slavery and you have no idea what's going on. They're just gonna provide substance for you. The other one is this realization, this existential experience. And the more that you do it, every time that you train, every time that you work, every time that you exercise one of those freedoms, it's like another layer of these
I have more energy than when I was 18. I can't even hardly stand it. The more data I get and the more I realize I'm resisting tyranny but building something good, it's like I'm genetically meant to do it and my brain and body goes, good, you're doing what you're supposed to. Here's all this energy and power. Boom.
They want you to be lemmings. They want you to be powerless. They want you to have no individual responsibility. They don't want you to know how to grow food. They don't want you to know how to change your oil. They don't want you to know how to shoot.
That's what's manly. Taking care of your kids, being a good father, being healthy.
That's it exactly. You want to talk about being a good parent? It's believing and knowing that you're doing everything in your power to ensure that they're safe and have everything that they need. Not a teacher, not a principal, not the government. That's not their job to raise your kids. It's your job. You raise them, you educate them, you give them their morals, you give them teach them what justice is. That is your job. Don't give that away. And that has to be hard work. And every single time that you start working hard at one thing, the stronger you get and the weaker they get. The stronger we are as a people, the weaker they are. Believe it and start doing it.
That's right. And who are we? I mean, what is a true patriot in your view? And I think your view is just, it's true. It's prima facie. It's not some secret we found. We're not cult leaders. We're not special, other than the fact that they've so enslaved people and put them in a trance. This is seen as bizarre right here, pure Americana. I'm seen as weird for being upset about them. The federal court just ruled they can ban our guns in public, that you can't have a gun out in public. I mean, this is serious. That was yesterday, folks.
A patriot is somebody that has the ability and the strength of will to live their life how they want to. Not somebody tell me what I can do. with that, there's an assumption that you are giving away